This is Duelist bringing you the final battle of the evening. Gnome King. Where are we? Proxima is in a Fafnir C. Kentax is in an Atlas B. Tech is in a Raven C. Ivan is in a Thanatos A. Then there's a pilot in the Uziel Prime, and Dashfire is in the Rifleman D. Opposing them are the Scythe Capellan team, consisting of Little Mike in a Shadowcat Prime, Bob in a Madcat B, Django in a Daishi Prime, Burner in a Madcat E, Marius in a Morgu C, and Serpentis in a Sula I. So they decided to go airborne. You can see him fly by now. The two they explicitly took anti-air for this purposes, so they should be okay. Serpentis, a skilled pilot, certainly has the 100-meter range on the 800-meter cannons of the Rifleman. Should he get any closer, though, he will take significantly heavy damage. I'm going to try and stay free look here, but let's follow Serpentis a little bit, see if he's simply working recon, or if Burner and Marius have freed him up for attack. Let's see, he's pretty far up here. I think he's trying to locate the teams now. Well, he is kind of in a deep dive, maybe an attack pattern here. He now sees the teams. Rifleman's going to line up. He gets a shot off on the Raven and moves up. They have one less carrying asset than the other team. Serpentis will be the story of the day for a while. As you can see, the two teams the main bodies are nowhere near each other. The Rifleman, short range, 800 meters, so he'll only be able to fire with his PPC, not his other weapons. They're certainly going to be taking quite a bit of damage. Proxima and Serpentis are your, Proxima and Warlord Kentax are in charge of figuring out what to do about the aerospace. They are the drop commanders of this mission for the attacking team. This is Pure Tech. The attacking team down on the ground below you is utilizing all sphere assets, and the defending team, of which Serpentis is a member, is utilizing all clan assets. The only difference being that both teams have access to armored personnel carriers, which enable the use of infantry. Let's switch up the perspective a little bit, take a look on the ground. That PPC is definitely going to do damage over time if unchecked, but Serpentis, seeing the Rifleman, will certainly have to alter his attack patterns. We are going to move and take a look now at Burner's ground forces once Serpentis gets one more attack in here. Okay, he's going to level off. Marius in a tank, not something you see very often. Marius is more than likely the drop commander for the team before you. They have a crap load of nasty punch at medium range. Burner will have to stay back of the group because his ATMs are useless under 150 meters. They have a crap load of punch on the ground, but so does the attacking force. So let's stick with them for a little while. I'm sure Serpentis is going to have some fun tracking the enemy movements and being able to fire that PPC with reckless abandon. The Rifleman has ridiculous firepower, like I mentioned, but he'll be able to use that PPC to his heart's delight and maybe even get a kill or two. And Burner, realizing this, perhaps asking his team if they simply want to hang back for a little while and let Serpentis do his thing until Serpentis dies, considering it's not a carrying asset. And they now have the advantage of knowing just exactly what they're facing. Serpentis providing not only attack vectors, but also the ability to provide the location and exact makeup of the opposing team. And that's they've decided to spread out so that it's harder for the Serpentis pilot to maneuver on any one given target. They're still largely keeping everything together. The advantage they have here is that they have radar. The other team has the visual scouting advantage, certainly, but this team has a significant amount of radar with that Raven. And additionally, the Dashfire's AECM field provides stealth packaging for the rest of his teammates, so while he'll be visible, they will be largely protected against missile attack. For them, the issue right now will be to locate. They need to find the ground assets, figure out what they're facing, and then decide if they're going to just straight out charge it or work to some range. They have the firepower and the armor, despite the ERPPC blast that they've taken to take on their opponents head on. But that may not be the strategy they're going for, as they have a crapload of range here. The Fafnir can hit at monstrous power at 900 meters, and the rest of these assets can hit very well at about 700 meters. It'll be interesting to see how much ammo Dashfire explicitly has to utilize, as we see Warlord Kentax attempting to get some visual scouting by utilizing his jump jets. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for the side base here and try to get some cover, so it's harder for Serpentis to attack them. As we see them moving over here to the side of the map. Yes, this base over here, the E1 base, quite a ways out, but an area they could perhaps go to. They could also be headed out towards center to provide cover, as we see Burner's force now getting ready to take on Proxima and his team. We see the distance that while the teams are somewhat close, they're still far enough apart. GECM on most of these things still moving, which means that they'll be harder to pick up on radar, but the BHP will still be able to pick them up from about 900 out. The Raven, I believe, also has a 20% boost on it, BAP. So it'll be able to provide as well. Serpentis probably taking some damage. This is Sula, 45 tons. Agile, but not a ton of armor, so he does have to be slightly careful of direct hits. And he certainly definitely has to be mindful of the riflemen. So he has to move in directly above them, attack from 900 meters, and pull up within 100 meters. Otherwise, if he's at 800, he will simply take a ridiculous amount of damage. The two teams both having experienced pilots to certainly Serpentis and Proxima, but also Pentax and Django are also capable pilots in the air, so they would have been able to, both teams had the options to go air. And right now we see the attackers moving for cover over by the mountain and by this base. This is the edge of the map, so as you can see, it'll be harder for Serpentis to move in without them being able to see them. They're also trying to get some elevation so that there is a ceiling on this map. The aerospace will go out of bounds if it goes too high, and they're simply trying to get their assets high enough up to be able to hit that 800 meter to 900 meter ratio. Can be defeated if they're able to get their riflemen high enough up in the air that they can fire at the ceiling. as we see Warlord Kentax telling his team to move a bit, and they continue to remain spread out, so it's harder for the aerospace to attack without fear of return fire. Teams now close to each other. Riflemen preoccupied with the aerospace. Proxima having discovered where they are, and they are about to be hit hard in the back. Burner utilizing an excellent strategy of keeping his mech down there while they're about to get hit hard in the back. The Raven should hopefully be nearby for this team, because if it's not, they are about to go down hard. This rifleman is dead. Gonna lose an arm, if not just outright die. The loss of the aerospace cover, that plane is gonna have a field day. This might just be enough to pull the match for them. The rifleman will not survive. Dashfire simply can try to run away, hope his team can give him cover, but an excellent strategic move by Marius and Burner. The plane will now come in to get some shots off. Proxima tried desperately to give his team cover, but ultimately it might not be enough. Proxima unloading improved heavy Gauss into the shoulder of Django, but Django and Marius undeterred, and Bob now move down. Marius wants that tank. Marius may get stuck. If he does, that's 80 tons down the drain. Django taking a shitload of fire right now. Bob moving in. Dashfire still alive somehow. Marius upside down, still gets a shot off. Impressive, Marius, impressive. Proxima now taking the full brunt of the fire as they all move in. The battle fully joined now. Ivan trying to get back. Dashfire attempting to contribute. Bob trying to keep them busy, trying to get the kill on Marius. Dashfire down. But now Bob down, interesting, and now they only have to go after the ground assets. Proxima heavily damaged. Kid trying to take advantage of his fallen enemy not being able to fire back. The aerospace will now move in and attempt to buy them time, and Kit will attempt to get out of here. But Marius, impressive, still able to get his shots off, and Kit left alone is back out. Proxima trying to get out of there. It's chaos out there right now. Teams not knowing where to position, and Proxima down. And Marius has righted himself up. Kit is dead, and this battle is over. Intax will do what he can. They do get the tank. Ivan's going to have to be fresh if they have any chance here. It's over. Valiant effort, strategy stumps it all. Wolverine's rebirth remains undefeated on the day. This is Duelist. We'll see you next weekend.